Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Fake electors. Fonnie Willis made a big splash this week talking about and bringing the indictments against Donald Trump and the fake electors in Georgia. What happened also was announced this week was a confirmation from Chris Mays, who's the Arizona Attorney General, that they are looking into the Arizona fake electors and that they're taking this matter very seriously. Now, just to show you how these elections impact all of us, Chris Mays is a Democrat running against a Republican for the Attorney General slot in Arizona, and her opponent, this is in 2022, her opponent was an election denier and said that Trump was denied his victory in the election. So her winning that Attorney General position in Arizona is going to have huge consequences for returning to normality in the United States. It's instead of having some Trump apologists in there who wouldn't investigate it, you've got somebody who's going to investigate it and hold those people accountable. How soon is that going to happen? Probably not quickly. How long did it take Fonnie Willis to do what she needed to do? Probably faster than Fonnie Willis's investigation, because roadmaps have been set up, so you kind of have a template with which to follow. This might be a RICO case as well, but expect that it's going to be a year and a half, 2 years before we hear anything about the Arizona fake electors. Just ballpark. It could be faster than that, but set your expectation that 18 months, 2 years from now, we'll be hearing about the Arizona fake electors. And again, this is about holding people accountable. You've got to hold them accountable. You've got to punish them to prevent people from wanting to make this same mistake in the future. Well, certainly in the near future. Okay, so I want to find out, how are things going in Arizona? Now, mind you, also the thing with Arizona is how many different audits did they do of the election. It was really obvious that Trump lost, yet you still have people defending fake electors out there. So the Arizona case, just like the Georgia case, because they did audit the Georgia results, but Arizona went through the cyber ninjas on top of the normal audits that went through there. So it's really obvious that there was no conspiracy. There was no conspiracy. There was no stolen election there, and that the fake electors were a conspiracy. So what's the energy right now around Chris Mays and this investigation with the Arizona fake electors? All right, so going forward, it's new adventure. This investigation is probably fairly new or fairly young in its state, but it's going to look, again, it's going to be government. It's going to look at folks in the government. It's a government investigation. It's going to look at the government, and it's going to look at the power structure on how these fake electors came to be. It's going to be this is telling me. This is going to be a thorough investigation. In the past, Queen of Cups, she's actually been rather quiet about it. She did run on the promise that she would investigate this, and she did. It was only a couple of days ago that she announced that they actually had an investigation going. I don't think many people knew that, so she's kept a lid on this investigation. Now the people who participate in the fake electors, after seeing what happened to the folks in Georgia, they might start getting a little nervous, because they might realize they only have a couple years of freedom left unless they do something to protect themselves. Current situation is the King of Cups. So Queen of Cups keeping a lid on it, graduating to the King of Cups. She's firmly in control of this situation. Again, and working as a king in this one, I think that as this investigation evolves, her investigation might actually get a little bit more cooperation than Georgia, simply because the people in Arizona, when they start seeing what happened to the people in Georgia, you got only a couple options. One is hold your breath and pray that nobody finds you. That's not a really good option. Another one is run and hide. And a third option is a race over to the district attorney's office and give them everything that you got and cut yourself the best deal you can get. I guess the fourth option is you fight it, but I think what they're going to find from Georgia is that's going to be the fool's errand. Overarching energies, the Knight of Pentacles. You got something of value, you better bring it. Better bring it now. You better get on your high horse and you better bring that information to us because we're going to find it anyways. And if you make it easier for us, we'll make it easier for you. And here come the people with the information. Lessons to be learned is you now let them know that you're investigating this case. This means that people will come forward with their information, especially the lower level people, because they know that they're going to get thrown under the bus. So they say what they can, get their wrist slapped, and then move on with their lives, because really what they're looking for are the King of Pentacles in this one. Outcome, sorrow, disappointment. I don't think that she's going to lose this in as much as it's just what's happened to the Republican Party that they thought this was a good idea. They pledged their allegiance to a cult member, and maybe a large part of the Arizona GOP electors, the folks in the legislation, are corrupt. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them are on there. What's underneath it all is the Tower. This investigation is going to bring down prominent people in Arizona politics. And it's going to bring them down fairly quickly. Again, I started off this thing saying, it may not be a quick investigation, but it'll be quicker than Fonnie Willis's because you have the roadmap. It might also be quicker depending on how many of these people show up and give the information to the King of Cups. And the ones that fight it, you're not gonna love your life. The only people who are going to fight it are going to be the folks at the very top, because they're the ones that they can either fight it and try to win, or if they try and cut a plea deal, they're not going to get much of a deal because it's going to be them that's the ringleader. They're not going to give the ringleaders a good deal on this one, right? You want to hold them accountable. Of course, if you're one of the ringleaders and you get there first and you give them everything you know, maybe you get a lesser sentence, and then the other ringleaders are really going to bear the brunt of it. Like, if they get 12 years, you might get 6 or 8. And while 6 or 8 years is a long time in prison, it's still 4 to 6 years less than what those other guys are going to get. And every man for themselves, as the case may be. How will the fake elector case pan out? How will this pan out? We get convictions. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Basically, to the ringleaders. What's going to happen to the ringleaders? There's that Page of Wands. It's still early in this. I was going to do a 4-carder. I'll still do a 4-carder. It's still early in this. It's kind of a winner takes all type thing. Just understanding how cutthroat the politics are. Being mature, making those mature decisions, and backroom deals. And the Tower. Wow, the Tower again. Yeah, so how is this trial going to turn out? It's a new experience for Arizona, but it's going to bring down people. Looks like we'll have a good judge on this one and a good DA that puts together a case. They're going to get the people that were involved in this. There is probably going to be some plea dealings in there. Remember, I mentioned that maybe one of the first higher-ups gets the plea deal. There'll probably be some plea dealing going on. Certainly for the low-level people, there'll be plea dealing. But for the top-level folks, there'll be one. There'll be one person that maybe gets a deal. The other ones, not so much. The other ones get prison time is what they get. Okay. I think that's all I want to throw on this subject. Okay. So Arizona fake electors, I think we're going to see more of the same like we saw with Fani Willis. So it looks like people will be held accountable for that. Okay, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your likes and your comments and your shares. It really helps the channel grow and reach new people who haven't seen my channel before, who then subscribe, and thus welcome to the new subscribers. Glad you found me. Hope you're entertained with these videos and watch more of them and join in the comments and join in the fun. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.